Hi and welcome, gorgeous mama. I'm Kathleen, and I support mothers to live more intentionally, calm their nervous system, and step out of survival mode and thrive a little bit more every day. And if your heart feels like it's racing and you feel like your mind is producing one thought after the other, like constantly overload and thinking, then this 5-minute reset we're going to talk about today is for you. It will help you to feel calmer, more grounded, even in the middle of the day, and it takes less than 5 minutes. And before we dive into the reset itself, let me give you a little bit of an explanation what is actually happening in your body. Let me start whenever you feel like this. And let's just call it right now overwhelm. You might call it overwhelm, others call it burnout or stress. It all leads kind of it's the same thing that is happening in the body. And the first thing is, it's not a flaw. It's actually your body trying to keep you safe. Because this is how your nervous system reacts when it feels threatened. The, so, what is actually happening every time you feel overwhelmed and stressed? You're going into survival mode in your nervous system. And how do we call it? If you have heard it, it's fight and flight mode. So, literally, you're feeling stressed because you had a difficult meeting with your boss, or maybe your kids are arguing with each other, or you just had this busy long day and you're feeling exhausted. And there's just needs to be a small trigger, and your body goes in survival mode. So, what it literally does is it screens the environment and it sees a lion somewhere. Yes, we're living in Stone Age on our nervous system. And when we're in survival mode and have this perceived threat, we have two choices. We either run away as fast as we can, or we're fighting that lion. I'm using now lion. So even though we don't have lions today anymore, our nervous system still perceives it that way. So our nervous system is still acting like that meeting, that difficult meeting with our boss, our arguing kids, our in a bad mood husband, or maybe a friend made a weird comment. It puts us in this mode where we actually literally think we're fighting a lion or not. And this is really a bit challenging because the threat isn't there. So normally when you fight a lion, which we don't, but just stay with me here. If you fight a lion, you run and eventually you stop, either because you're eaten or you actually escape the lion. The same when you're fighting it. You stop at some stage that fight and you're either done and have survived it or not. So there is a beginning normally in back then in Stone Age. If we entered survival mode, there would be a beginning and the middle and the end. But in today's busy world, it kind of floats into each other and we're getting just kind of more and more stuck there. And that feels heavy and it feels exhausting. And it's literally, you're there when you have like you can't take a break from thinking. It's constantly, I need to do this, I should be doing this, and have I done this? And if your thoughts are racing, or you just feel really your body contracting inwards, you feel like your shoulders creeping up, that's when you are in survival mode. And many of us spend way, way, way too much time there. And it's not good for us to say it as simple as that, as weird as that. But I want to give you that when you're there, because the first step is actually to recognize I'm now in survival mode and now better get myself back into calm so I can tackle whatever it is around me. Because the thing that happening around you, your kids arguing, most often you can't change that. Or you're meeting with your boss, you can't change that much. And if you're calm, you're going to react very, very different to it. So that's a little bit kind of that you get the idea when you feel overwhelmed, stressed, burned out, tired, super exhausted, that you really literally, okay, I'm in survival mode. And that's what I'm actually doing. I'm tracking these days a little bit this year. I kind of have a little challenge on myself where I actually track how much of my day do I spend in this survival mode and how much am I actually more in a calm, regulated mode. Because I have 3 kids and years of sleep deprivation And maybe living outside the norms, making different choices than many others, has put me on survival mode track way too often. And this year, I really want to intentionally bring myself back to more calm and groundedness. And this is an exercise I'm literally doing. I'm not doing it every day, but I have it in my toolbox and I'm doing it very, very regularly. And the first step is to, well, the really first step is to recognize it. I'm in survival mode. Like, my kids argue and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to fix. And my first thought is like, shall I yell at them? Shall I put them in their rooms? Kind of this style thinking. I'm like, survival mode. And having that awareness, that's the first step. And then the next one is, of course, I need to fix it in myself first, and then I can see what I can do in my environment. Like, I can't make that difficult boss go away, for example. So, and then let's start the process. The first step is actually calming your breath, going back to breathing. We have all heard it before, like take 10 deep breaths, but let's be real. When are we actually doing it? And here I invite you, 10 breaths feels too much for me. It's not working. It takes too long. And I'm just kind of rushing through these 10 breaths. But 3 deep breaths. And important here is that the inhale is shorter than the exhale. So I personally, I count in on 4 and I count out on 6. And I do this 3 times and I'm counting. So I'm noticing that even when I think I'm taking a deep breath, when I start counting, I notice it's actually not that deep. So this whole 10 deep breaths, it's absolutely true. But often when we're kind of overwhelmed and stressed, we're not taking deep breaths. So literally taking 3 deep breaths and counting and making sure your exhale is slightly longer than your inhale. In that moment, when you take a deep breath, you're signaling your nervous system that you're actually safe. And that's big time. That's step number 1, taking 3 deep breaths. Step number 2 is actually as simple as naming the feeling, naming what's going on. So instead of just feeling all these thoughts and just feeling all this overwhelm and overstimulation, this all happens in our head. So actually naming it. Right now I'm anxious. Right now I feel worried. Right now I feel overwhelmed. I feel scattered. I feel exhausted. Whatever it is. In the moment you name it, it lowers the intensity. And that's all for step 2. So step 1, 3 deep breaths. That signals your nervous system you're safe. Number 2 is you're naming the feeling, which lowers already the intensity because you realize that's just the feeling that can come and go. It's actually not that lion standing in front of me. It's just the feeling. So already that lowers your intensity. And then we go to step 3, which sometimes can feel a little bit tricky and challenging, is to pretty much just accept that this is here. To literally say, okay, I'm feeling now scattered, overwhelmed, and I let it be. It's okay. To not straight go like, oh, I need to change this. I shouldn't feel that way, or I should be this. Like, this is where we often are, to just, okay, I accept that right now I feel like this. It's okay. It's here. I'm still here. I'm safe. This is a feeling. It's okay. I can have it. And I think this is something in our society, we want everything that doesn't feel good to go away. You know, how easy is it like, oh, I feel scattered. Oh, take my phone and scroll on Instagram. Yeah, let's watch cute cat movies and stuff like that. But actually, we're not doing anything to calm our nervous system actively. So we're just kind of pressing it down. We're putting a lid on it, but we're not resolving it. So literally, again, step 1 is taking 3 deep breaths. Step 2 is just naming the feeling. And then step 3 is actually just saying, okay, I'm allowed to feel this. It's okay. I'm still safe. I'm still okay. And I'm feeling this and it will go over because that's what feelings normally do. And then we're step 4 is the anchoring. And here I recommend that you do name 3 things you see right now. So I could say I can see a plant in my background, I can see a poster, and I can see a chair. Or you touch yourself, like something that is a bit of grounding and anchoring. So you kind of land in this present moment. So step 4, or step 4 now, yes, is you want to anchor yourself back into the present moment, in the now. Because, when you think overwhelm and you think all these thoughts, they're never here right now. Because right here, right now you listen to this clip, there is no lion standing in front of you. So you want to anchor yourself. And that might just be, maybe put your favorite song on. It just might be, give yourself a hug. Give yourself a big, 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 nice, loving hug. Or just name 3 things you have around yourself. And then I love to end with taking another deep breath. And again, the inhale shorter than the exhale, and a nice deep breath. And just like, I'm okay. I'm safe. And this has worked with me really, really well. And I went now and explained it a little bit longer, but you can do this actually really, really fast. So let me repeat this really shortly at the end. Step number 1 is to take a deep breath in and out, 3 of them. Step number 2 is you name the feeling. What is it you feel? Step number 3 is to just accept it and let it be and say it's okay, you're here. And step number 4 is to ground and anchor yourself and naming 3 things that you can see right now. Give yourself a hug. And then if you want, you can take a deep breath in and out, and you will arrive in this moment again. And everything's going to feel just a bit better. You're not going from complete overwhelm to complete happiness. And that's not the purpose of this reset. You're just resetting to, I'm okay. I'm safe. And I would like to invite you to try this. And if you like this video, please subscribe and join me on this journey. And I'll have a lot of other tips to share. And as always, let's root, rise, and shine together.